So I think that's usually how I start thinking. That's what it takes. I have to verbalize that I'm going to think, and then I go away and do it for a second, and then I come back when I've thought of something. I only really do this one thing, and sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't. But if I had another hobby, it would be complaint. And sort of the wrong moment right before the break to get into this, but here I am. Think about it for a second. See if this is what I really want to do. Because the truth is that, like, if I don't complain in front of you, what happens is that I can travel all over the world and play folk songs and stuff and have a really good time. But I sort of amass this sort of great treasure load of complaint. And what I do is I won't do it in front of an audience. I'll sort of let it get bottled up. I don't want to complain in front of an audience because I really like my job. I really love being here. So the beneficiary of this, if that's one way of looking at it, is my wife, who's at home with her 3 kids. Actually, she's here tonight, but she's the one who is the only real person who really knows how well I can complain. And she really likes it. She knows I'm really good at it. And, you know, one night I was kind of doing my best work, and I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give you a little intimation of it because I'll speak about it sort of loosely, but one night I had sort of stayed in the Sheraton Hotel, which is a nice place as they go, but I had so many pillows, I was sort of driven out the end of the bed. And it was fine, you know, like I didn't think much of it at the time until I had the opportunity to tell my wife about it, and then it got really bad. And what I did was, rather than just tell her about the pillows, I sort of took all this sort of angst and fear and as a raw material, and I built this rather elaborate palazzo of pain that I set on a hillside. And it was really cool. It had like arrow slits, and it had turrets and a strong fortified central keep, and it had a moat that I filled with diverse and various beasts, and a working drawbridge and stuff. It was really cool. And I built it all out of complaining. Like I had a glass of wine or something, and I just went to this palazzo of pain. It was really remarkable. I'm kind of like an expert mousing cat that sort of brings home like a half a squirrel and puts it on the rug in between us in the evening, and then I just look up at her. It was like, look what I've brought you, you know. And but I don't know if you've ever tried building stuff out of fear. I neglected to install the sump pump, so the fear out of which I built the Palazzo of Pain started to threaten the very foundations of the palazzo itself. And I think this is why I'm really good at complaining, better than most people, is that rather than just sort of get up and have another glass of wine or put a log on the fire, what I did was I hastily constructed a Roman aqueduct with columns and arches to siphon the fear off the top of the Palazzo of Pain. And this was a great development because now I could travel my fear over great distances. And I've long taken my evening walks in the garden of monetary misery. And I built it when I was younger. I've been going there a long time, and I was more pretentious at the time, so I laid it out along the palace garden plans at Versailles. And to that effect, I had a broad avenue that I just loaded up with all these fountains. And I have a limited understanding of waterworks, and so I had never seen the fountains come on until I built this Roman aqueduct to siphon the fear off the top of the Palazzo of Pain. And all of a sudden, it was really kind of remarkable, and all built out of complaint. And the thing was so great was that all of a sudden, like the Venuses started, pouring their eternal cups, and the little cherubim had like a much-needed pee, and the grotto shone with this sort of unearthly light. And I looked over at Teresa, and I was just like, and her eyes were literally rolled back farther in her head than I'd ever seen. And she was just like, Luedecke, because that's my last name. She was like, Luedecke. She was like, don't worry about it. We'll just live lower on the hog. And I had no idea what she was talking about. I was lost in this sort of neoclassical reverie. And so I was sort of pedophogued by it, and so I wrote this song sort of by way of explanation. So I'm going to sing you this song, Low on the Hog. You don't know where I'm going, you don't care where I've been. You say, when are you coming home again? But oh, my little darling, we're too old to be this green. We run like a well-soiled machine. And I am just an old trick done by an old dog. Say it's time we lived lower on the hog. Low on the hog. Low on the hog. Well, I am just an old trick done by an old dog. Say it's time we lived lower on the hog. The conditions on success have left us now with less. The discomforts of our youth, we're closer to the truth of maintenance and care. No one wants to sing, you want a brand new one. It doesn't cost a thing. Low on the hog. Low on the hog. Well, I'm just an old trick done by an old dog. Say it's time we live lower on the hog. How long can you tread water before you sink or swim? This table could be level with a pie chart for a shim. All the money that is gone was the biggest piece of pie. We'll get more up in the sky when we die. Low on the hog. Low on the hog. Well, I am just an old trick done by an old dog. You say it's time we live lower on the hog. Well, I am just an old trick done by an old dog. You say it's time we live lower on the hog.